Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and I hope you guys had a good Monday, if that's at all possible, and that your weekend was good as well. Now, things in the UK have been hotting up. I think that's a bit of an understatement, really. Things have been just ridiculously hot here in the UK over the last few days, and we've got a new temperature record for May, which has since the beginning of time, at least as early as they've been recording the temperatures, it's never reached this temperature. And I was watching something on the news where they said that when there's a new record in the temperature, usually what happens is it's by like 1/10 of a degree or something like that. But this particular record, I think it was something like 32.1 degrees was the record of all time for in May here in the UK, and it was 34 point something. Or was it 35? I don't know. But it means that it's beaten the record by over 2 degrees Celsius, which, the experts say that's absolutely unheard of, to absolutely obliterate a record by that amount. But obviously there are other things at play. And that they showed on the graph how things are just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And we're hitting 34 degrees Celsius. And this is springtime. It's not even summer yet. So crazy stuff going on with the temperature. So I've got the air conditioner turned up to 11, but even with the air conditioning on, it's still quite warm, which is a bit crazy. And that's I can always tell when it's a bit warmer because my hair starts getting a little bit bigger. But thankfully it's still just about under control. We should be okay. But anyway, hello to you guys in the live chat room tonight. I can see you guys in there, and let's give you guys a quick shout out. We've got Sue and Elaine and Ro and Billy, Gabe, Pamela, Ocean Cats, and Tammy, Ro, Laurelie, Karen, Jennifer, Lisa, Ruth, and is in there as well, and Cornelia. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. Good to see you. And let me start getting some things up on screen, such as the names of the people who make this all possible in the first place. My patrons, thank you guys. You know who you are. Their names run across the bottom of the screen throughout the live streams on a Saturday and a Tuesday night. So foundation of everything that I do, as I always say, and it means that I can do the live streams, the analysis videos, and all the other stuff that I get up to, including Authentic Vocal at Official Authentic Vocal over on YouTube. And I say over on YouTube, we are technically on YouTube now, but that particular channel. And thank you for all of the support over on the Patreon page, not only Wings of Pegasus, which is everything that I do here, but also the Authentic Vocal Patreon page as well, which is patreon.com/Authentic Vocal, because I've got a lot of support over there, so thank you guys. And there will be some new Authentic Vocal stuff coming up in the future, and I've been sent some videos. It's great because Dan Bridge, who's the guy that he's my contact for BBC Introducing, and he gives me different performances. I've got access to a lot of the stuff that he's sent over, I can start to have a little look through, and probably over the next few weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, there'll be some stuff over on Authentic Vocal, so make sure that you are subscribed over there. And whether those videos will make it onto this main channel, I'm not sure. But if you do want to see just totally live unedited performances with authentic vocals, totally unedited vocals, then make sure you head over to patreon.com/authentic vocal, or go to the YouTube channel at official authentic vocal. So let's get the likes goal for tonight up on screen, because this is set at a rather large number. 335 is what we're going to be aiming for tonight. So if you guys could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And if we do hit the target for tonight, then we will have Phil Jam number 329. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, the other annoying thing that happened before the live stream is that the screen capture, I don't know why this happened, but the screen capture that I have set up as part of the software that should just load up normally, it, for whatever reason, resets itself and then doesn't read the information. So it means that when I go to get something on screen, nothing appears on screen, which means I have to reprogram it before the live stream, which is just annoying because it takes ages when you're doing screen capture stuff. So I had to do that before we went live, and that's probably why I was a little bit late at getting everything started, because I'm setting up the screen capture and then redirecting the software to read what I want it to read, to then show it on screen, and then to give it its appropriate layer above the other layers so that it's not behind what I'm doing here. So yeah, a bit of a pain. But all that said, let's see if we can get the likeometer up on screen. And there it is. So obviously for people watching, they'll be none the wiser as to all the stuff that I've had to do before the live stream to set up that likeometer all over again. But there it is. We are at 185 likes. So yeah, if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And the last thing to get up on screen is the donations tab, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. I went in slow motion there for a second. You don't have to donate. Just watching is great. So thank you everyone for donating, but I think it is important for those people that can't resist that they know the percentage splits, which I always show on screen. You can see there 45 to 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. So yeah, you don't have to donate. Anyway, right now I think we're up to date with everything up on screen. Hopefully, I think we are. It's all displaying as it should. The other thing that we have, as always, is the vote for tonight's cover video. And that is between Sweet Emotion and Miles Away. So whichever one of those you want to hear my version of, then vote for that at the bottom of the live chat room. And then we'll jump into that a little bit later on. I can see Kevin says, did you get the aircon sorted? So yeah, the aircon is, it's sorted, but the thing that I've ordered, or I should say the things that I've ordered to make it better, those haven't arrived yet, and I think they're going to arrive on Thursday. So I know that they say it's going to be hot tomorrow, and then it's going to be cooling down a bit, but then it might be getting hot again, later in the week. So it's hopefully going to just be something where I can have the aircon on if I need it and not have to put the tube out the window. The problem with the tube out the window, and when the weather gets hot, it means that all of the insects and animals come out, and the amount of insects that will try to get in the window is quite unbelievable. But just to give you an idea, I think over the last 2 days I've thrown out at least 4 spiders, a beetle type thing, we call them a daddy long legs here. Whenever I say that, It always reminds me, it strikes me as something that a child would call an insect. But I guarantee you that's what we call them here, a daddy long legs. It's like just something that, it looks like a very, very skinny spider, but they fly. And they kind of fly around aimlessly. I don't know what they do, other than trying to fly into lights or, like today, one of them was just flying along the carpet for the whole day. So yeah, you get those that try to come in. Also, this tiny little fly thing that, yeah, I haven't seen those before, but I saw a couple of those. Yeah, trying to keep a track of all of that. So. Yeah, Cindy says we call them daddy long legs here too. So yeah, just backing up that I'm not crazy. So that's the problem with the heat. Just everything goes crazy and insects go crazy. And this is why, anyway, back to the point. This is why I'm going to be attaching this, sheet of Perspex stuff with the size of the, I was going to say output, but that's really more of a music term. But there's a word for the exhaust. Is that it? Maybe that sounds, yeah, I know it's a car thing, but I'm just going to say that. So the air that comes out of, like the hot air that comes out of the air conditioner, that comes out of a tube, and then at the moment it's just hanging out the window, which means that lots of other things can come in, especially at night time when they think, this seems like an interesting place with some lights in the distance. So with the Perspex thing, it means that, yeah, they'll try to come in and they'll just fly into the Perspex, and then I'll be laughing on the other side while keeping the room nice and cool and everything, yeah, being fine. So that's what I'm going to be waiting. That's what I am waiting for. Hopefully it'll be delivered on Thursday, and I've got a couple of them for different, sizes, so that if I need to have the air conditioning unit in a different place, then the tube can go out of a different window. So Karen says, you mean like a screen? So I guess so. Technically, yeah, it'll be a screen, but is a screen something that you can kind of slide backwards and forwards? This isn't a sliding thing. It's just going to be in place. And yeah, but it's going to be attached with Velcro. But this is the point, that I've ordered this Perspex stuff for a design that I've got in my head. So it's like a custom size that you tell them that you want them to cut it to. And in my head it's going to work, that if I put the, what is it? It's like the hook, the loop and hook Velcro stuff that you can. It's like double-sided, so it's sticky. You put one side around the edge of the Perspex screen, and then the other side you put around the window, so that you can just put it there and then it will stick. But then it's got the hole in it, so you can put the exhaust out. I'm going to call it an exhaust. So yeah, in my head it's going to work. I can't see why it's not going to work, unless when I then try to do it and it doesn't work. So take the right says, put a tight screen on the end of the exhaust tube, put stainless steel around the tube exit. Yeah, so thank you for that. I think put a tight screen on the end of the exhaust tube. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, but the problem that I've got is that the exhaust tube is very short. So it means that if it's not very close to a window, then you're going to have issues, which I do. So I've connected another kind of tube to the tube at the back of the air conditioning unit, and then that runs off, not literally, but that runs off to then where the window is. So yeah, it's a lot, I've kind of made it a lot longer. And yeah, in terms of having anything to put on the end of that tube, I don't have it. I don't have anything to put on the end of it. So I've just got the custom sized gap that's going to be in the screen, so I can push the tube through that, and it's going to be relatively tight around the tube because I've told them what size I want that diameter to be. So anyway, there's the air conditioning talk for tonight for you air conditioning fanatics. But it is rare that I'm even talking about air conditioning. I mean, sometimes even in the summer, but let alone in May. Absolutely crazy. So anyway, I will quickly get into the donations that have happened over on PayPal, and there's one that came in right at the end of the live stream on Saturday, and this was Mark, who donated £17 and 82 pence. So thank you for that, Mark. And the message is, or was, really enjoying your insight and expertise. Rock on. So thank you for that, Mark. And then Cindy donated £30. So thank you for that, Cindy. And the message was, when you were teaching guitar, did you have particular milestones that you used to categorize your students as beginner, intermediate, or advanced players? Did you even feel that was necessary to do? I know students often like to know where they stand. So thank you for that. And in a word, no, I wouldn't kind of judge my students. That there were some that had a natural propensity for playing the guitar, and generally, I mean, the way that worked was the ones that practiced the most improve the most, which, you know, as I made them all aware, it's not rocket science. If you spend a long time doing anything, you will get better at it. So yeah, with guitar, I think it's really difficult, and yeah, I don't really see the point in labeling people as, you know, beginners, intermediates, or, you know, advanced level players, because it's pretty much meaningless when somebody is playing in a particular style. Like, you can have someone who's an advanced fingerstyle player, and then you can have another player who's an advanced player who's never played fingerstyle, but they've been using a pick the whole time. So then you say, well, that advanced player can do something that other advanced player can't do. So which out of those two are the best? Who's the most advanced? It's when you're talking about guitar playing especially, everybody just kind of does what they do. And with my students, it was just a case of them wanting to learn how to play either a particular song or play a particular way, and then I just kind of moved them along week by week to then getting to that goal, and that was it. So everybody's goal was different, because I didn't really see the point, unless it was parents wanting me to, you know, teach their kid grades, and they were going to sit an exam where you just have to do the same pieces, and then they have to learn that piece, you know, week after week that you're just teaching them. Yeah, that's just doing the same thing, and then you get, you know, grade 1 and grade 2 and grade 3, so on and so forth. So there's a measurement there, but you can get to grade 8, and I played with somebody who's a grade 8 guitarist, and he couldn't do a simple blues. He couldn't play, he couldn't kind of follow what we were doing in a jam situation. So then you say, okay, so technically that person, from an education point of view, is the most advanced you can get at playing the guitar. But then I can play a chord and he doesn't know what to play because he needs me to tell him what the chord is. So you think, well, those are totally different styles of learning. Like, I learn by listening. So it means if somebody plays something, I can play along and I'll know what they're playing. I'll know what chords they're playing, because I can hear what they are and kind of where they are on the guitar, and particularly melody lines and that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is it. That's why as soon as somebody says, oh yeah, I'm an advanced player, or I'm as advanced as you can be, and they say, okay, great, well, let's have a jam. And then they realise, oh, I don't know what you're doing because you haven't given me the sheet music for it. it's like, yeah, well, this is it. That it depends what your class is advanced. So yeah, but that's the beauty of music. Everybody's into what they're into, and they want to play a particular way. And yeah, everybody's different, and this is why, yeah, it's definitely not a case that, you know, of one size fits all. So every advanced player can play every single style, and yeah, there's very few that ever really do that can play every single style, and they've nailed every single technique. and yeah, literally anything that one guitarist can do, this particular one guitarist can also do. I don't think I've ever seen that, where, you know, and this is, you know, throwing into the equation as well, like amazingly, you know, gifted technical players and people that are just playing all the time, but then you've got players who do all that and sing at the same time. So you think, well, hang on, doing all of that and just doing it, you know, without singing, you think, well, that's fine. But now this other person, they're doing everything that that person can do, but now they're singing as well. So, but that other guitarist hasn't worked at their singing voice. So that is a lot more complex, being able to sing and play at the same time than just concentrate on your playing. So yeah, there's so many different parts to it, because yeah, you could have a really technical guitarist, and then you say, well, first of all, I'm going to now play something that you haven't heard before, and you've got to play over the top of it, which is, you know, extemporization with no prior knowledge of what's going to happen, which is a totally different way of learning to play. But then also, now you're going to do this song and you're going to sing, and they might say, but I can't sing. You say, yeah, but these other people can sing, who are doing, you know, the same techniques that you're doing. So yeah, but this is why, yeah, everything is, you know, trying to, and this is, you know, why also that I don't do, you know, lists of, oh, the best guitarists of all time, or, you know, top 10 or top 20, because yeah, there's so much that goes into playing the guitar that I think you can have a guitarist who isn't particularly technically advanced, but their sound is unmistakable. And you think, well, where do you put that against somebody who's a really technically advanced player? I mean, more often than not, the ones that have their own identity when they play, and yeah, you can tell who it is straight away, those tend to, you know, appeal to more people rather than people who might be very technically advanced, but they don't necessarily, again, this is another side of it, they don't necessarily understand or appreciate melody, or at least trying to write something that's going to connect with a lot of people. And generally that's going to be when you're playing the guitar and it's simulating a voice, so that the guitar is singing, and very much part of that is coming up with, you know, distinctive melodies. And yeah, pretty much if you're playing really fast all the time, you're not going to have something that's going to appeal to a lot of people, because people can't repeat that melody. They can't kind of sing it back themselves, whereas all the biggest hits of all time that have memorable guitar solos have melodic components in there that you can just sing through. So yeah, anyway, yeah, it's a never-ending conversation, that one. But I never used to put my guitar students into kind of pigeonholes and say, right, you're going to be that kind of player and you're going to get to this point, and then you're going to do this other style and you're going to get to that point. It was just, how do you want to play, and then we'll work our way to that. And yeah, week on week they'll see the improvement, but you know, get to the point where I'll have some students who are, you know, great at playing you know, solos, might be playing, you know, Eddie Van Halen stuff and tapping, and we've been through all of that, and alternate picking. But then I'd have other students who were very good at fingerstyle. So yeah, two totally different things. And like I said, you know, if I swap those students over and said, right, now play this fingerstyle, yeah, the guys that are tapping, playing Eddie Van Halen stuff, they'd have said, well, I can't do that. You know, it's like now you've got to learn from scratch a whole different technique. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Cindy. And Karen has donated £3.56, so thank you for that in the messages. Phil, oh, hang on. Greetings from beautiful Sacramento, California. Phil, just a couple random questions. I saw that there's a drinking water shortage there in some areas. Are you affected? Also, the heat has caused some serious health emergencies. Are your parents, sister and family okay? So thank you for that. First of all, no problems with water, thankfully. But it's always the case that as soon as it starts getting hot and people now need water, there's no water. On a slightly more recreational note, I always say that at McDonald's, not that I've been to McDonald's recently, but whenever it's hot, their ice cream machines always fail. So when it's cold and people don't really want ice cream, it's always working. But as soon as it gets warm, I don't know why, but everywhere like even when I've been in London and I've gone to McDonald's and they say, oh well, yeah, no, the ice cream machine's not working, and that'll be the milkshakes as well, everything just. Yeah, you'd think for a company that size that they should be able to make sure that it works all the time. But thankfully, water has been okay. The other health emergencies, no, it's all been fine. In fact, my nephews had a football tournament on Sunday, and yeah, they were running around like crazy people, and that, I don't know how hot it was then, 30s plus. So when they should have been looking after themselves, but they had to take part in, or they didn't have to, but obviously wanted to take part in this competition. And yeah, you get all these crazy 11 and 12-year-olds sprinting around the pitch in ridiculous heat. So but thankfully they had their water, everything was okay. As for the water shortage, it's okay. I tell you, one thing that I have got is a special water bottle, and it is really special because it's it's called Water to Go. I haven't been sponsored to say this or anything. It's a bottle where you can fill it up with any water. When I say that, I mean that, like, if there's a puddle, you fill it up with the puddle's water, and then you suck the water through the filter, and the filter just gets rid of everything, which I think is amazing. And I have tested this for a few weeks, and I'm still alive, and it did work. So so with the water shortage thing, if you have one of these bottles, if you can find a water source anywhere, you'll be able to fill up your bottle with it and drink. And yeah, people have been to foreign countries and gone up mountains, and they've taken this bottle with them, and they all say that they were just filling it up. They found like a puddle, filled up the water, and then drank it, and everything was fine. So yeah, it's obviously very complicated with what it can do and the way that it can filter any water source, but the thing that strikes me about it is that the technology exists to take any water source and purify it so that it's absolutely safe, and it gets rid of 99.9% of everything. And I know that because when drinking water that you shouldn't really drink, it'll have a particular taste to it, but when drinking out of this bottle, it just doesn't taste of anything. Like the water it doesn't taste of anything, which is amazing. So generally when you drink from like public fountains and stuff, it's got a bit of a weird taste to it. But when you put it into the bottle and then drink it, it's absolutely fine. So anyway, what blows my mind is that the technology exists to take what is dirty water and water that will cause a lot of illnesses, might have viruses in there, bacteria. There's a filter that exists that will take water like that and convert it into totally clean drinking water. So you think, well, if the world had its head screwed on properly, we'd say, well, why don't we get some of these filters out to countries where they are drinking water that is full of viruses and bacteria, to give them fresh drinking water, because all you've got to do is just put it through this filter. They should make loads of tanks that have these filters in them, and they just pour in all the rubbish water, and then out of the bottom of it they can then get the clean water. So it's amazing. And it was only about I think it was 30 or 40 pounds, and the cartridges, the filters, I think cost like between 12 and 15 pounds for 200 litres. So I mean, if you're drinking 2 litres a day, which is I was just going to give you some really basic maths there, but you can figure it out yourselves. Drinking 2 litres a day, and it lasts for 200 litres, you know exactly how many days that is. So I mean, that's a long time. That's going to see you through your travels before you need to get another filter. But I was amazed at how the bottle didn't really cost that much. And then the filters are relatively inexpensive as well. So if you are a travelling person, I would say, it's good. to get one of those, even if you're having to fill up from taps, not necessarily lakes and things, but taps that you might not know if it's clean or not, but this will filter it out. So there we have it. And Leroy says, Phil, the dirty water guy. This is the point, that it's not dirty water. It's absolutely clean water. So and normally what we have here, and this is the important thing to point out, this isn't something like we have in this country called a Brita water filter, which is what you put your tap water into, and then it takes out kind of the bad stuff that causes, I don't know, like lime scale and stuff. And then we drink that water and put that in the kettle for our teas and coffees and stuff. So it's like that kind of thing. That doesn't really filter out bacteria and viruses. But the thing that I'm talking about does that. It's like it's like an industrial water filter thing. It kind of cuts everything out of the water. So that's why you can in the adverts it'll be somebody just going to a puddle, filling it up, putting the lid on, and then drinking out of that. But the water that comes out is clean. So there we have it. That's tonight's random topic. We were talking about the water shortage. So I guess if things were really bad, because I've got that, I could literally go to the River Thames, which isn't that far away, a few minutes drive, and I could just put my bottle in that, put the lid on, and I'd be drinking. So everyone else would be having a bit of a nightmare, and I'll be all right. And they'll say, what are you doing? You can't drink that. And I say, well, actually, I can. This has got like a super filter in it. Right. Anyway, let's get back to this donation that's come through from Debbie, who's donated £10. So thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, hi, Phil. A little something for the haircut fund. Your hair looks great and glad to see the fringe back. Stay cool. You're the best. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. Maybe I'm not going to need the haircut fund just at the moment, but I think it's probably just going to be a case of keeping it trimmed so that it doesn't go in front of my eyes quite as badly as it did before. But I think this kind of length is okay. I'm not sure about this length. The thing is that it is really long, but because my hair's not straight, look at the way it just bounces straight back up again. So it kind of loses a few inches of length just in curls. So at the moment seems to be okay, but thank you for that, Debbie. And of course now I can kind of see more out of my peripheral vision. Right, Karen's donated £3.56, so thank you for that. And the message is, greetings once again from beautiful California, Phil. Did you happen to see that Dick Perry passed away? He played the sax for David Gilmour. So talented. So thank you for that. And no, I hadn't heard that piece of news. But thank you, Karen, for letting me know about that. And there is another donation that's just come through. It's Karen, who's donated £6.25. So thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, I know the annoyance of unwelcome creepy crawlies like beetles and spiders. Entomologists advise against killing spiders because they kill bugs. It's also a superstition that killing spiders will bring bad luck and money loss. Your thoughts on this? Thanks, Karen. So I can't prove either way that if you kill a spider, you'll get bad luck and money loss. So my particular way of dealing with things is just to throw them outside. So I tend not to kill too many insects. So generally, I find that even with a fly, like flies, if you're trying to kill a fly, you're probably never going to get it anyway. So what I do is I put a glass over the fly, and the fly doesn't notice the glass, and it doesn't know anything's happened. Apart from then when it tries to fly off, and it realizes, oh, hang on, I'm not getting very far away. What's happening? I'm hitting some invisible walls. So I wait for it to kind of fly into the glass a little bit and then wait for it to land and then just put my hand over it, or get a little bit of paper and put that the other side and then go outside and throw it out there. So yeah, I'm sure at some point that fly will turn into spider food, because there seems to be a lot of spiders around nowadays. So yeah, same thing with spiders. The problem with those, the ones that I had, one which was kind of about that size. So yeah, not really tiny, but it was all right. But it was one of those teleporting ones, so that, like, even when I put the glass over the top of it, actually, I went to put the glass over the top of the spider, but because it teleports, it means that by the time I'd got to the floor, it was already outside. So then, luckily, it stopped moving. So I went down in super slow motion. So I think I moved too quickly. But then when I went down in super slow motion, then I managed to, put it over the spider. And of course, once it realizes that something's going on, it starts teleporting again. And when I say teleport, I mean it's so fast that you just see where it ends up after it's moved. So those are the ones that are really annoying, because yeah, catching them can be a nightmare. But the worst ones are the ones that are big, and they maybe don't teleport because they're so big, but they are fast. So the ones that are, I mean, in this country, I'd say that if you found a spider that's, I don't know, maybe that size, then you're doing quite well. It's generally kind of barn spiders that are like that. So yeah, if you get a barn spider that's quite big like that. But again, insects pretty much in England don't do anything. Like they can't hurt you, or they won't bite or anything. So yeah, the big spiders that are fast, it's not that they're going to attack you or anything or kill you. It's just annoying to catch them. And then I'm sure that when I throw some outside, like the next day or a couple of days later, the same one will be back. So there must be something. Yeah, maybe it's they've got a particular route into the house that they take. Who knows? Or they wait for hot weather and say, right, we know that window is going to be open and there's going to be a tube that comes out, but that's our opportunity to get into the house. So anyway, that the beetles, I mean, it was only kind of a tiny little beetle thing, which was easy to catch. Just the flies. Like in emergencies, I've got a salt gun. And a salt gun, I don't know whether you've seen them, but it's like a shotgun, but it does exactly what it sounds like. You fill it with salt, and when you fire it, the salt comes out like about 1,000,000 miles an hour, fast enough so that flies, even the fastest of fly, can't react in time, because the salt travels so quickly. And the point is that it knocks out the fly. So, and it does work, that it will knock out the fly with a salt strike to the head or whatever happens. And yeah, it will then fall down. And then you can decide what you want to do with the fly, or if you want to put it in a glass and throw it outside. And I threw one outside, and it was just motionless. But then, sure enough, after, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, it kind of stood itself up, moved around a bit, and just flew off. So yeah, it is quite good, quite effective, this particular salt gun. But I'm not sure, I would not advise using it on wasps or bees, things that might actually want to sting you, because I don't know whether it will be strong enough to take out a wasp or a bee. But relatively small flies, it'll knock those out, and you can get rid of them out of your house. So like I said, if there's a particular fly that's really annoying, then I'll bust out the gun. So anyway, thank you for that. Just imagine an actual gun chasing a fly around your house, and you're shooting up your house, up the walls with like a real shotgun or something. Definitely not. Right, Mish Marie has donated £2. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, what was your guitar practice schedule like when you were learning to play? Was it as strict as your gym regimen? What is a successful practice routine? Thanks, and rock. So thank you for that. Yeah, I'd say it was more strict than a gym routine, because yeah, gym routine is just something that you do. I don't know, I used to work out for between 45 minutes to an hour a week, and that is my gym routine. So yeah, pretty much, and that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment with my physio, and kind of just lifting maybe I'd say 50% of the weight that I would normally be able to lift, with a good arm. So yeah, I still find that even lifting kind of 50% of the weight, I find that the muscle memory comes back. So it means that you can start to see the kind of muscles adapting to just lifting the weights again, even though it's kind of probably half as much muscle building that it would normally do. So as a general rule, at least for me, if I were working out, I'd be doing sets of like 6 reps, maybe 6 to 8 reps of a particular weight, and that's what for me builds the muscle the most quickly. So at the moment I'm doing reps of like 18 to 20, so it's a lot lighter weight. But even doing the lighter weight, I do find that the muscle memory comes back. And when I say muscle memory, it's something that, like, if you've worked out, if you've exercised quite a lot when you were younger, your muscles, they remember how to build them the most effective way. It's like when Schwarzenegger went away from and stopped competing in bodybuilding, and he went away and did some acting, and then he came back to compete in Mr. Olympia. And when he came back, he then he now had to put on all this muscle again. But then he said that the muscle memory made it easier, so that it wasn't like the first time that you put on muscle, which might be quite difficult. It's something that the second time that you're doing it, your muscles start to kind of adapt more quickly, because they kind of go back to what they've already, I guess the process they've already been through. They remember how to do it most efficiently. So anyway, so that's the workout regime. Like I said, not that much every week, between 45 minutes and an hour. And this is the other thing that people greatly overestimate what you've got to do. They think, I've got to go to the gym every day, and I've got to do like between half an hour and an hour, and that's the only way that I'm going to put on muscle mass and all this kind of stuff. Whereas it's all about understanding your body. And I'd say generally, if you're looking to put on muscle, you don't want to be trying to do it every day. And I made that mistake when I was a teenager. I thought the more you did, obviously I was reading magazines like bodybuilding magazines, where they don't tell you that they're doing steroids. So it means that it's a way to put on muscle that isn't possible with the human body. That's why you need the steroids, in order to make the muscle grow so that it recovers literally overnight. And using that synthetic substance or something that's going to allow your body to do something it can't naturally do. It means that you can work out really hard on Monday, and then when you sleep, getting up on Tuesday, the steroids have made you recover. So it means that now you can do it again. Whereas naturally, that recovery process, like for me, takes 7 days at least. So it means that I'd do biceps on a Wednesday, and then I would do biceps again the next Wednesday. So that's how long the muscle takes to recover and build, and then get ready for now lifting more weight. So, and that goes for every muscle group. So that's why it only takes half an hour to 45 minutes a week. And you can break that into 2 sessions of like 25, 27 minutes. So yeah, you just do your muscle groups once a week, and just keep doing it. And it's all about having enough protein. But anyway, getting back to this. So now talking about guitar, playing guitar for me, I don't know how many hours I would play a day, but I generally would just sit down, and there'd be particular things that I would work at, but I'd try and move from one thing to another thing, one technique to another technique. But pretty much when I got to a point where I felt like, I can play what I'm thinking of in my head, then I wasn't too bothered about learning to play kind of really fast, or increasing the speed of particular subconscious runs to get them to a particular beats per minute. So doing, I guess, but I wasn't timing it, so it wasn't that strict, but I guess it's probably anywhere between 3 and 6 hours a day, depending on what I was doing on that day. And even when watching TV, I'd be, just practicing or getting the muscle memory. So it's not something that's really focused. But I think ever since I started playing, I would always pick up the guitar every day, because it was just like, I wouldn't say it's an obsessive compulsive thing, but I always thought that I'm not going to get any better if I have too long going without playing. And I thought, well, you've got to do something every day to get better at it. So that's just something that I set myself, that even if it was just picking up the guitar and going through, I can remember going through the chord shapes, trying to remember what they were. And I would just do that for 5 minutes. If I only had 5 minutes of the day available, then I'd grab the guitar and I'd go through chord shapes for 5 minutes, and then I'd put the guitar down. And then maybe the next day I might have half an hour or an hour that I could practice. Of course, when you're a kid, you kind of take it for granted that you've got all of this time to practice playing the instrument. And also I was playing a lot of football, so you have a lot of free time to spend time on doing lots of things. But I was quite strict. I'd say when I was 18, 19, 20, around that age is when I kind of really did focus on it. I was at university at that time, and it just meant that I had my guitar in my room and a TV in my room as well. So it meant that I could watch TV and practice the guitar. And I'd be listening to lots of different players, and listening to like Steve Vai and Paul Gilbert and these more technical kind of players. And I'd look at trying to work on my alternate picking and stuff like that. So that's when I kind of focused on trying to get down techniques, but also jumping from one technique to the next and not get too bogged down in kind of over-learning one particular technique. But then in my late 20s, then it all started to move now towards singing. And I realised that singing was a totally different ball game to playing the guitar, because when you play the guitar, nothing can really go wrong with that, as long as you're playing patiently and you're working on the right things and just gradually building up your skills of playing. As long as your guitar's in tune, nothing's going to go wrong. Whereas when you're learning to sing, you realise that, hang on, the voice isn't always the same every day. So how do you work your way around that? It's like you've just spent like 6 hours playing the guitar in standard tuning, and now the next day somebody's going to give you a guitar that's in a totally random tuning. I think, but hang on, how am I now going to learn this? Everything that I did yesterday I can't apply to this. So they go, all right. So then you spend 6 hours learning this new tuning on the guitar, and then the next day somebody gives you another guitar that's in a totally different tuning. So then you think, well, hang on. But that's what learning to sing is like. It's a different thing, and then you're trying to always kind of find a middle ground with your voice, and obviously it's not tuned, so you're gonna have to try to, unless you tune it yourself afterwards with digital tuning software. But you're now having to try and hit pitches accurately, and figure out how to hit particular pitches accurately. So it's all a bit of a nightmare when you start singing, and that's why as soon as I started to learn to sing, the whole guitar practice thing went out the window, because I thought I don't have the time now to practice practice guitar and then practice learning to sing. It was all in the singing. But anyway, thank you for this donation, Karen, £3.56. And the message is, hey Phil, so do you have black widow spiders there? Not to my knowledge. We do, and we definitely kill them. I rescue black Kita cats because they get tortured, and my current little midnight girl hunts for any bugs possible. She usually swats and then eats them promptly, so they don't suffer. Laugh out loud. Thank you for that. We don't have any dangerous spiders here. I don't know. As for animals getting bitten by spiders, like if there are dangerous spiders, I guess if a cat tries to take on black widow spiders. That's one of those that I have heard of over in Australia, especially. I know that in Australia, that insects are like the size of dinosaurs. So not too sure about getting out there, but it is very far away, thankfully, and spiders and things can't swim across the ocean, but they can come over on boats that might have bananas on and that kind of stuff. So yeah, always double check your fruit. Right, now we are up to date in the PayPal window. Thank you guys for the donations. I will just quickly jump into the super chat window to see if anything's happened in there. We are at 315 likes, meaning we're looking for 20 more people to hit the thumbs up. If you could do that, it would be very much appreciated. But I'll have a quick look here. Paul donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, let's have fun tonight, all y'all. Despite the likes, peace, love, and rock. And Karen donated $2. Thank you for that. The message is 34.1 equals 94.1 Fahrenheit. Stay hydrated. So thank you for that. And a shout out for my 2-litre bottle of water that I've got next to me. Elaine's donated $5. That's the first time that a bottle's got a shout out. Elaine's donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is, how's the physical therapy and working out going? Am I seeing some muscle in the biceps? I must have sensed that particular donation. So yeah, just like I said, working out at kind of half the weight, so doing a high number of reps, but I think it's the muscle memory that's just kind of remembering things. But yeah, as for the kind of tendon and the ligament thing that I've got going on, it was doing what I would consider quite well. And I then last Monday, a couple of weeks ago, was the first time that I've then done a golf swing and hit a ball. So this is something that I did just at a driving range, and I did drives. I say drives is a very light swing, so only kind of hitting the ball maybe 150 yards with a driver, which it actually isn't too bad if it rolls on a bit, but it's just getting the arm used to it. And I did that, and that was fine, and then I could still do my rehab and my working out after that. And then last Monday I experimented with now hitting the ball, like not off a tee. I think hitting the driver and hitting the ball off the tee, there's no resistance to that. It's not like hitting the ground. Whereas I then did 18 shots with a hybrid, and after that I started to feel it a little bit, so that was kind of too far for my recovery so far to deal with. So then I kind of was going to rein it in, and unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, there was a mosquito. Oh, this is the other thing, mosquitoes. Those are the other things that come in through the window, which are annoying. So I've got this salt gun that I've already mentioned, and I was trying to get this mosquito, and it was kind of on the wall, and it just landed. So I had the gun, and I tried to pull it with my first finger on my right hand, and I wasn't thinking anything about it while I was doing it, but the trigger wouldn't fire, and because I knew the mosquito was going to fly off, I really tried to pull the trigger, but it didn't work. So I thought, oh, that's annoying. But then I pulled it again, then it did work, and it's fine. Mosquito was kind of knocked out, but then I did kill the mosquito. So that's one thing that I did kill was the mosquito, because if it woke up again and then flew around, it's going to start eating my blood, or drinking it. Anyway, so it meant that I'd just done that, and then I went to bed because it's really late at night. It's really annoying to have this mosquito issue. Went to bed, it got up the next day, and it was on Sunday that I now felt the kind of tendon, and it's probably the most that I felt it for quite a long time. And at the time I thought, oh, what's happened? I can't believe that it was feeling so good. I've been working out, everything's been fine. But then I remembered yesterday, because it was obviously still aching, it's been aching for a few days, I thought, what did I do? And then I remembered, I pulled on that first finger with pretty much everything that I had to try and get that gun to set off. And then actually I did some analysis on my golf swing, and I realised that with my grip, the first finger is supporting the weight of the club underneath. So then I thought, well, that's the motion that has now given me the problem. So that's now what I've got to focus on, rather than doing the in general rehab, which, you know, is great for strengthening everything, but it's a very specific movement that I've got to do, which is strengthening this first finger, pulling in towards my thumb. So it's literally that trigger motion that is obviously going right through the tendon, or directly activating it. But it's good. It means that now I've got something else that I can work on, and thankfully I'd say today it doesn't feel too bad, the arm. And tomorrow I'm going to give it another rest, but then I'll get back to my rehab and hopefully be able to just kind of pick up from where I left off, giving it enough time off. So anyway, there we go. Let's jump into tonight's cover video, because we are, well, we're going to have to check afterwards. Let me just quickly have a look on this. 3:25, we are close. We need everyone to hit the thumbs up. If you could do that, it would be very much appreciated. We're going to jump into the cover video and then maybe have the fill jam afterwards. We will see. But this is going to be, it looks like Sweet Emotion, which is going to be myself and Chris Law with our version of the Aerosmith classic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you after. Rock!
1, 2, 3, 4.
And there we have it. That was myself and Chris Law with our version of Sweet Emotion. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and thank you for requesting that over on Patreon. I don't know whether there's a problem with the Patreon post earlier and whether the comments were working properly or not. I do not know. But right now, I have got out the guitar, but we're still looking for 3 people, I believe, to hit the thumbs up. Yes, we are. 3 people. I'll tell you what, while we're waiting for that, if there are some people that are going to do that, we have, we have Picture Corner. But do we have Picture Corner or not? Maybe not. Because I don't think I can access the message with it. Or maybe I can. Or let me see if I can grab it from here. Yes, I can. Right, let's jump into Picture Corner just very quickly and get this up on screen. And it's appeared in the right place. So this is Nikki. And Nikki said, had to go clean to Japan to see the Statue of Liberty. Good thing I had my Wings of Pegasus hoodie. It was cold in Obida, Japan. So thank you for sending that in. And yeah, I was going to say that it looks a bit smaller than it should be, and I don't remember all of this stuff around it. So yeah, there we go. Kind of, I guess, a mini replica of the Statue of Liberty in Japan. But anyway, thank you for that. And yeah, that's Picture Corner for tonight. And now we have hit the target of 335. So thank you guys. Think the thumbs up. And let me now get organised. I'm going to have to do it through the laptop. I always kind of forget what I'm doing and how I'm set up. Right. Oh, this is 7 minutes and 17 seconds. It's a long one. Right. This is power hard rock metal guitar backing track B minor, and it's from Nick Neblo or Neblo. Backing tracks. Oh, topic, and then it says after that. So, yeah. Let me see. This is on. That's there. Okay, right. I'm listening to this out of a laptop. So, whatever happens, happens. As for the levels, who knows what's going to happen. I can't really adjust them as I go, but hopefully you can hear this. Hopefully I can hear it as well. I say that. Okay. Can you hear this? Oh. Redo. almost ran out of frets there. Oh, that was it. That's the end of the backing track. I thought it was going to go into something else, hence the slightly muted ending there. That was a power hard rock metal guitar backing track, B minor, and that's from Nick Neblo, or Nick Neblo backing tracks dash topic. Yeah, there we have it. Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting one. Went into some slightly kind of different places, and yeah, not necessarily something that I'd be doing on the, well, I just did do it on the Fender Strat, but not necessarily a Fender Strat kind of backing track. But then again, yeah, I'm just used to playing the Strat a lot now, so yeah, it's not the kind of thing that is very good for tapping because of the higher action and stuff, but it was what it was. That's what these fill jams are all about, just seeing what happens. So yeah, thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. We are going to be calling things to a close now, so thank you guys for tuning in and for hitting the thumbs up. It is very much appreciated. I'm going to be here again with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that. I'll be live streaming on Saturday night again, as always, so if you could join me then, that would be very much appreciated. So all that's left for me to say is, well, first of all, that I'm going to check we are up to date with everything, which I think we are. Let me just double check over here, get the comment out of the ways that we could check over here. So yes, we are up to date with everything. So all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will catch you guys at the next video tomorrow night. So I'll see you then. Rock!